Undoing all of Trump and MAGA's damage is easier than it looks. An aggressive progressive president, second New Deal, and televised trials can can cause most of the institutional and societal damage to fix itself. The televised
Yeah, put Stephen Miller on trial.
trials thing, I like that idea. I never thought of that, but that kind of makes sense, especially given how big of criminals they are. The reason I say I feel like the damage is really hard to undo is like, look at like the U.S. aid cuts. You've already had like people dying from malaria and HIV because we stopped sending medicine. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, you can't undo that. It's very hard to undo. Like, there's been studies that they've worked on, like studies on fucking all sorts of health issues like diabetes and, you know, whatever other issues. And like, they like multi-decade studies that Trump just fucking killed. And like, you can't just bring those studies back. Once you stop the study, you can't just like bring it back. Like, it's already fucked. You know what I'm saying? So like, also the brain drain that's happened in this country, the fucking no more investing in like medical research and scientific research. Like, that's not stuff you could build back. Like, the institutions are sort of got screwed over and got fucking kneecapped, and you can't just.
There's also got to be a repeal of the big beautiful bill, because a lot of those provisions are not kicking in until 2028. So the good news is it means they're not kicking in sooner. The bad news is that the next Democratic administration needs to worry about them coming up on the rise in 2028, you know, in 2029, when the next Democratic administration would take office.
Bring them back the next time, because now all these people that were like going to come here and going to study here and going to take jobs here and going to do research here, now they're like, I'm leaving the U.S. In fact, I covered some polls. It was like almost like 90%, something like that, 80-90% of the young, brightest of the bright students who were going to come here to do some like research, they were like, I'm not fucking going there now. I'm going to go to Europe or some shit. So it really is not easy to undo it, but you know, they got to get to work on day one, and even then, I think it'll be an uphill climb.
You think?
Yeah, damage control is a difficult thing. I mean, we haven't really undone Reagan's damage or George W. Bush's damage. I mean, more so George W. Bush, actually, in terms of, you know, getting out of Afghanistan. Biden did. But, you know, we're still feeling the effects of Reaganomics today, of this trickle down, like, oh, yeah, no, whatever. Lower taxes for the wealthy. Duh, obviously, that's the way it goes, you know. Obama, some people call him the Democratic Reagan. So, yeah, obviously that's not quite fair. But, you know, the argument is there that, okay, Republicans, we really haven't escaped the shadow of the Reagan revolution of the Republicans.
He's actually going to try for a third term. Is that a real thing that they're talking about right now?
100%. Yeah, he is. He is. If he's alive, he's going to do it for sure.
That's so scary.
Yeah, so this is one of those things where it's like, I know Kyle Kulinski used to be kind of, oh, you know, Trump is not going to run for a third term. He's not going to try and stay in office. Back in his first term, it was like, okay, and I agreed with Kyle, actually. I was like, I don't really know if Trump's that much of a threat to democracy. I mean, he's unhinged. He's rough around the edges, but he's not going to be that much different. He's going to voluntarily leave office, you know, and it's like, oh no, he actually wants to stay in office, and he's going to try and convince the country from the White House that the election was stolen. And he goes out there on November 3rd, 2020 and says, frankly, we did win big last night. We did win big last night. And so it's like, yeah, this guy is a sociopath. This guy will try to run for a third term, probably. I think that he thinks that he's entitled to it. I think that it's like, yeah, he wants to be super special, you know, like FDR. FDR got 4 terms, one of which was not completed, not even close to completed because of his premature death. But yeah, I think Trump wants a third term. And I think that his jokes about, you know, oh, I'm just joking about doing it, I'm not actually going to do it. I think we'll see. He might actually want it. But JD Vance might actually try and say, Mr. President, no, I want to run next. So there might be a little bit of an argument and a spat over that. I agree with Kyle overall. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching.